Well, guys, revisiting the digger that I bought on Craigslist. Was it Craigslist? It might have been OfferUp or something like that. But I bought this last year about this time. Maybe it's been about 14 months. 59 XLCH. Took forever to get this engine back together. If you guys remember all the things that were wrong with it. It's transmission problems, oiling problems. Basically, the motor didn't get oil. But we had to do a lot of stuff to fix it. We had to, if you go back to the old videos, you'll see that this was welded shut, and they were trying to dry the primary at one time. I don't know. So we got rid of all that, made it all back to stock, basically a stock 59 XLCH engine, except heads are ported by Slover. It's got new valves in it. It's got a kibble white, valve train in it now. PB Plus cams. So we're gonna put the linkage back on it, and there's a bunch of stuff I'm gonna clean up. I think I'm gonna put a battery eliminator in it, get rid of the battery, get rid of the regulator, or swap it out, do some kind of hidden regulator with a mag. Well, it's already a magneto bike, but this would be a mag running the electronics and getting rid of it. We switched out the intake to this shorty little Weber, so it'll have a little Weber on there. Fix the transmission. We got a bunch of stuff still to do, though. I'm going to change around that master. It's probably going to only have a rear master. Guys, I don't like front brakes on choppers, but, that's just a personal preference, too. So, I have a sprocket rotor, so basically the disc and the sprocket are the same. And I've been trying to sell it. It's a really bitchin' German hub. So I basically take all this side off, and I would have a sprocket that's also the rotor. I don't know if they have it for this offset, though. That might screw up the plan. But if they do, then that would be pretty cool. You just have the chain, the sprocket, the rotor, and then you'd look at this side, and it'd be perfectly clean. So I want to clean it up and make it, I don't know, not as much clutter. Not that this bike is cluttered, but even less clutter. And it's going to go to an 18 rear rim. I like 18s on Sportsters, so it'll be an 18 and a 19 like the Harman. So I'm going to get rid of this this Paughco Springer, which is brand new, if anybody's looking for one. And yeah, I'm going to get rid of that, change out the bars, change out this gas cap. Probably just going to get rid of the tank and do another tank. I like the graphic on it, but I just don't like, first of all, I don't like the risers because they're super close. That's why the gloves are in here, and it'll hit. So that's one of the things the guy wasn't thinking of. I don't like the controls. Everything's really big. The bars are wide. It's cluttered. So it might either get a Harman front end. It might get a Black Orchard front end, which is a replica of a Ness front end. It's going to get rid of that 16. So I might go with that. I have this radial lace that I did for the Harman back here. That's an XR750 hub, new old stock, on a Buchanan rim. Buchanan built the whole wheel. So we got a 36 hole. I got a 36 hole and a 40 hole of 21s. I might make that into a 19 and run that. What was the other thing I was going to say? It's got the early style tank, which is awesome. Sprockets, chains. There was something up here that I was going to talk to you guys about that I was going to put in there other than the mag and the primary chain. So I might have the mag rebuilt by the same guy that did the one on the other bike. Oh, it's got the 40 millimeter Mick, or no, Weber, sorry, not a Mick. And if you guys remember before, it had a key in on a stock intake, but I wanted something that was just kind of, going to sit like that. It's going to be a bitchin' little bike. You see, hopefully it doesn't fall off right there. Yeah, it's going to be probably just with a pair of stacks on it. Like I said, I just forgot how cool this thing was. So glad I got the engine back in it. Took forever to get it to this point. Oh, I knew what I was going to show you about the tank. I found a really cool gas cap. A really early As you guys remember, the freaking garage in here is a mess, right? There it is. So we're going to go with that. It's an early Jesse James West Coast. It's bitching. Right? Never been mounted. Let's take a look at it on here and see what that's going to look like. Okay, let's see if we can see what we can do here. Should we go that way, West Coast choppers? Should we go that way? I think we'll go this way. Well, let's not fall off. Let's be cool. So kind of like that. But, you know, obviously I'm going to cut that down and it's going to sit down there, you know, where it's flush with the tank. But that'll be freaking badass on this bike. So if I can find some other controls, I don't know if I'm going to go mids or forwards like it is. I kind of got to get on it and figure it out. But that's it for now on this one. Hopefully we start it pretty soon and it runs bitching. You know, we're just going to clean it up and hopefully I like it. If not, it'll be for sale. So, and I'll probably be able to turn it to somebody for a good deal because I don't really have a lot in this bike. I think I've got 3,000 something in the bike without going through the motor. So, anyways, we'll see by the time I do the wheels and stuff. That's gonna, you know, that's gonna change the price quite a bit. And then if I do a different fork and everything. So, all right, guys, stay tuned. You know, like as typical, dislike, comments are always appreciated. Subscribe. That's it. You know, revisiting the how to buy a bobber online part. I think we're probably around part 5 or 6 on this bike. So. All right, we'll get it finished. We might get this bike done this week.